Hey guys, if you're currently renting and you're thinking about buying a home, this is one of those videos that you have to watch. Watch till the end. Dave and I literally go through what it would cost if you're currently paying $3,000 a month in rent versus buying a house for 400,000. Appreciate you guys watching. This is a video that you must watch if you're thinking about buying and you're currently renting. Hey guys, it's Peter Cunha, your New Jersey real estate giant, broker, owner of Open Doors Real Estate, here doing our weekly call with David Baum, all things mortgages. What's up, man?
What's going on, Pete? How's everyone doing today?
Good. Typically we start on a face-to-face, but Dave and I have been going back and forth about whether people should rent or buy, even with these numbers. And Dave, I'm gonna leave the floor to you, but to give the person that's kind of like zoning in, if you're currently paying about $3,000 a month, Dave and I were just kind of doing the rough math of what it would cost to buy, say, a $400,000 house. And I think on a high level, we came out to you could close with as little as 5% down, $10,000 closing costs, and then another $5,000 for incidentals, inspections, God knows what else you can throw out there. So you're really looking at 35,000 that you need in hand, plus a decent credit score, and Dave working on your mortgage for you. So Dave, buddy, I'm gonna let you take charge because I have no idea what we're looking at, even though you showed me once before.
Sure. Yes. Let me take control. Can you see my screen, or can everyone see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So basically what I did here was we just took a pretty good example, roughly on a $400,000 house, right? Just to see some comparisons. And I'll basically run through the scenario real quick, and then I'll go back to some charts and stuff. But basically we said if someone was paying $3,000 a month in rent, what would that approximately look like compared to, if someone had a mortgage payment approximately in that range, right? So we took example, if someone's paying rent for $3,000 a month, and let's just say they pay renter's insurance, call it $60 a month. So they're in it for about 30, 60 a month just for renting, where they're basically paying somebody else's mortgage, not getting any tax breaks or advantages out of it, right? So obviously rent typically will increase as well. We're just taking like a 5% increase on that. And let's say if we're taking a $400,000 property, we estimated if the taxes were $9,000 roughly here over in Monmouth County, estimating $100 a month for home insurance, estimating mortgage insurance, and everything in that bucket. So typically you'd be looking at a minimum of 3% for down payment. In this particular example, we went with 5% just to try and get that mortgage payment somewhat in line. Obviously, interest rates are a moving target. Rates might be a smidge lower today, just based on some news that were last Thursday with the CPI index that came out pretty good. But this was just a rough estimate. So let's just take this as an example. So if it's 400,000, principal and interest roughly would be 2465. Your taxes and your home insurance about 1050, and your mortgage insurance, you're looking right around 3,500 a month for a mortgage payment, taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, all in, right? And if you're paying rent, yes, it's about 3060. So a little less than $450 a month difference in owning versus renting, right? So your total cash flow versus renting. And we have, if you were going to sell this house, we took an example in 10 years where everything would be. So if you pay rent in 10 years over the course of the standard appreciation, you'd be paying $460,000. And if you own the house in 10 years, you'd only be paying $430,000. So basically there's a difference of $29,696 from a cash flow perspective. But there's also that appreciation gain of around almost just under $210,000 based on the fact of where the standard appreciation would be. And we took the historical data, which is about 4.3% of historical appreciation, Right now, currently, it is a higher pace than that, but we wanted to tone down the expectations and not assume that it's going to continue at the record pace we've been seeing, right? So if you originally took out a loan of 380 in 10 years and you just paid your minimum payments, you'd be around like 324 in 10 years. So you've got also additional equity that we've built up, okay? If you're taking, and we're taking the example of when we sell, okay? So if your closing costs are around 30 grand, which is about 5% of what it might be worth at that time, based on if 10-year future value, that 400,000, we're saying it might be worth 609 and change at that time. So we're talking about what your cost to sell would be. We're estimating a tax bracket, someone in the 24% bucket for, let's just say, a married couple. And the average net gain, which is the cash flow difference, along with the appreciation gain and amortization gain, we're at $273,000 net gain from buying a home versus renting, putting you in a different position. So first year, obviously, you've got some expenses. It might look like you have, starting in the initial closing costs and cash flow difference, you're on the red negative. And then obviously realizing appreciation gains, amortization gains, and tax benefits. This just shows the course of you renting versus buying, that you would be in a much better position to purchase now than rent and continue to pay somebody else's mortgage itself. So yes, your payments are a little higher in this particular case, buying for $400,000, but you're actually, if you can afford it and be comfortable with it, you would really be in a much better position overall, financially, and it'll put you in a better position to have equity and appreciation down the road that you can tap into or utilize.
And Dave, I think that you did a really nice job there. One of the things that I get often is I can't afford, I'm currently, in this example that we're using right here,
Yeah,
I'm currently paying $3,000, right?
yeah,
And whatever, renters insurance, et cetera. Right. So now you and I are telling people, hey, listen, I know you're barely getting by on $3,000 a month for rent, but we want you to now spend $3,500 a month to buy a house because you're going to have equity in 10 years, right? And this is where, people are buying their biggest asset. For the most part, we're trying to get them to a point where they're making money, right? Right now, they're just not making money because they're paying rent. Things that, are typically outside the box. Okay, I can't afford 3,500. I have 35,000 to put down on a house. What are some other options? You and I kind of discussed this. Look at some 2-family houses, right? The other one is, hey, listen, do you have any close friends or family members that need a place to live? All of a sudden, you might not be a first-time home buyer by yourself, but all of a sudden it becomes really affordable because now you're splitting the 3,500 by 2 people, even if it's not equitable, right? Say they're only pitching in $1,000, it's still $500 cheaper than what you had going for you before. And I see people doing this all the time. And then they'll call me up in 5 years and be like, Pete, I need a bigger house, right? We're not saying we're buying your forever house. And for some people it might be, right? But a lot of times it's just like, how do we get somebody into a house so they're building up equity over time? And, they're, a lot of people just, they get it in their head that they can't do this. And,
right.
the reason why I guess we're doing this exercise is just to show the math or the economics of this. So, I know that this is really difficult because I had a really tough time kind of following around. This is really kind of, let's talk about a specific individual. So, if anybody has any questions, let's do the exercise with people, right? And that's my commitment. If you're watching this video, this doesn't cost anything to you. Dave and I will, foot whatever fees there are associated with this. We just want to find out if this is a potential for you. So
Right. Yep. This is, and not just two. This is just more like a differentiate between renting and buying. Obviously there are other options. I mean, when we're talking and looking at this, you might want to look at from this perspective. You might also want to just look at like what your affordability is, right? Based on your income, based on your current debts and liabilities. That's a whole other story. We can get into all that stuff. It's super important to have a consultation and make sure you understand what your options are, right? So, and not just, be put in one box that most lenders just want to try and, forced to put you in. Like everyone is different. You have to be a good listener and make sure I understand, what, clients, needs and wants are, and, everyone is different. Not one person is the same.
Right.
Credit's different, liabilities are different, income is different, job history is different, down payment is different, potential gift options are different. I mean, there's so many different things to factor in. It's best to have a good consultation up front so you understand what you can do, know what your options are, and that'll give you that much more confidence to go ahead and go in on making an offer when you're ready, so you don't have to be like tiptoeing in thinking you might want to get the house, and you get the house and then you get cold feet and attorney review. Like, you got to go in, if you're going to beat out other offers, you got to make sure you're confident when you make your offer. And the best way to do that is just be prepared up front and make sure you understand everything so you can you make your right decisions when you find the right place.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It's listen, this could be a very kind of overbearing kind of process for a lot of people because let's face it, how many people haven't done a will, don't have a financial advisor, wait till the last minute to do taxes. So we're certainly not trying to pressure anybody, but let's explore the possibilities, let's say, and see, like, again, this is at no cost, like, maybe, we're going into the new year and what are we looking at? I've already had people saying, hey, 2023 is the year I'm buying a house, and it's like, all right, let's start today, right? Because even if we found you a house today, chances are we're not going to close until January anyway. So, we only know what the market has in store for us today. Give us a call. Dave, how do people get in touch with you to learn more about this beautiful stuff that you presented today?
732-853-4969. That's my cell phone, best number to reach me, or via email, david.baum@ccm.com.
All right, Dave, appreciate you doing these videos. We got a lot of good stuff coming out. Appreciate everybody that watched all the way to the end. If you have any questions, just comment in the section below and feel free, please, if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you for another great week.
All right, take care, Pete. Thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody.